Okay, let's do it. Ready?
On three?
Yes, on three. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
I had my dream come true. I love it.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Alex from All Time Low, and you're watching Billboard News.
Hey everybody, I'm Rania Aniftos with Billboard News. I am so excited. We have one of my favorite singers from one of my favorite bands in the studio today. We have Alex Gaskarth from All Time Low. Hi.
Hi.
Well, I mean, you have a really exciting time right now. A lot of full circle moments, I feel like, are coming back for you. I mean, you're having the Forever Sessions, Volume 1, coming out, where you're reimagining 10 of your tracks. How did you go about choosing which tracks, I guess, captured All Time Low in your career so far?
That was honestly probably one of the hardest parts, was focusing in on which songs we felt encapsulated the early days of this band the most. You know, I think we knew that we wanted to start off with the early records. Put Up or Shut Up, our first EP that we ever put out. So Wrong, It's Right was the first full-length album we put out. And from there, an album of ours called Nothing Personal, which was our sophomore record. And there's a lot of material on all of those albums, and we wanted to key in on the ones that we felt like to this day have carried a major weight with our fans and our audience. There's still songs from those records that are in every set list we ever put together. So it's kind of wild to be playing, you know, music 20 years later, playing shows 20 years later into being in this band, and these songs are still so important to the fans. So we wanted to make sure we hit those.
Does it surprise you which songs, I guess, have still stuck with people after all this time?
It is pretty wild. You know, I think I look back on songs like 6 Feet Under the Stars and Weightless, and especially Dear Maria, the resurgence that song had recently. We were teenagers, literally, when we wrote that music. So to have it still mean so much to so many people, and also to have it now connect with a whole new generation of fans that I think are just finding out about this genre of music, it's pretty wild, you know, to get our heads around it and just go, man, like, this thing really has legs. We never expected it.
I mean, how has your relationship with a lot of those songs evolved over time? Like, have you gone through processes with it? Does it still feel new in some ways?
When you've been at it for as long as we have, they're always so fresh because we play them so often live, and feeling that connection with the audience makes the songs feel new again. But I always say, you know, Dear Maria haunts me, like when I'm like out at a bar or whatever, and like someone at the bar happens to know who we are and like pops the song on, you know, a jukebox or whatever. It's kind of like someone coming up to you with like an old high school photo of you and being like, remember this? Remember?
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, oh, what was I doing? Not to say that this song isn't special from all the way back then, but it's just like I hear it now and it's like, that's not what it's not how we do it now.
Right.
And that was kind of some of the inspiration behind doing these Forever Sessions, was taking these really important songs that haven't gone anywhere and bringing them into the wheelhouse of our new music. You know, we have newer records, and that's how we believe we sound now as a band, so it's funny to hear sort of on record the difference between how we make music now and how we used to. So it's been cool to kind of take that journey and update them.
Well, I think it's indicative because your music, especially the newer records, it's still very All Time Low. Like, it's not like you guys have gone so off the path completely, but it's a more mature version. And so it's fun to see the fans that were also teenagers when the original like EP and album came out kind of grow with you and grow and finesse their music tastes as well.
Genuinely, it's so wild to me, because when we started this band, we had no idea, no aspirations of it lasting this long. It doesn't really hit you until it hits you. Like, you're not 15 years in going like, oh man, but think about 20. Like, it's just dawned on us recently, which is why we decided to kind of make this year a whole celebration of the legacy of the band. We play shows now and I look out and I really do see all different ages of our fans, people who I recognize from coming to shows, you know, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, and they've stuck with us the whole way, and they're bringing their kids, and it's just so like, cool. It's pretty mind-blowing, you know, that it's kind of expanded that way.
Speaking of Dear Maria, not to bring up that high school photo, but
no, please.
I mean, you had a bunch of your celebrity friends take part in that iconic cough, obviously, that starts the track.
Yeah.
How fun is it that you have this network of people that are also super successful in the music industry, that also feel connected to your music and wanted to take part in such a project?
I just cast a wide net, you know. I was like, and I always feel so bad asking people to do anything for us. So when I reached out and was like, hey, will you just like do the cough from the beginning of the song? I felt so like awkward reaching out to all my friends to ask that. But getting all of those videos back, it was like, oh man, we really like made a lot of friends over the years, and it expanded. It was such a wide range, you know. It's like on one beat you have Mark Hoppus, who I've been lucky enough to like make music with and have known for years, and is, you know, a major part of the reason we started a band was Blink-182. But then, you know, people like Shaun White, pro snowboarder that I never thought our paths would cross, you know what I mean? But like all of these old friends coming out of the woodwork, it was really endearing.
I feel like you're having so many full circle moments. You're playing at the Troubadour, which was the first venue you ever played, right?
Crazy, right? We planned this year to sort of be a way for us to take stock and reflect and do that with our fans. That's exactly the theme we were going for with the year. And yeah, to your point, like Troubadour was the first venue we ever played in California. I can remember that show. And you know, us just going there and playing it recently it was wild, because again, I'm pretty sure there were some people at that show that were maybe at the first one.
Wow.
That was just like, that blows my mind.
I mean, being a band for decades, it's not a small feat. I mean, so many times people go through all these dramas and they break up and they never want to see each other again, but you guys still have such a cool connection. What is the key to keeping that friendship and creative relationship in balance?
It kind of comes down to the way we started the band, which was we were friends first and we were enjoying ourselves, and the aspirations of the band never kind of went beyond what the ties of the friendship meant to us. And so I think all along we've prioritized making sure that everybody in the band felt heard, seen, represented, and felt good about the music we were putting out and what we were doing on stage, you know. And I think it's made for a pretty healthy space where we've all kind of been able to say like, yeah, I still love doing this, and I still love doing this with the other three guys, you know.
And is there a song that, I don't know, that surprised you, that now playing it in this celebration year, you kind of have a different relationship with it, or you love it again, or?
Oh my God, I would have to say our re-recording of Poppin' Champagne has put that song in like a completely different echelon for me. Back then we made an incredibly cringe music video for it, and I think I look back on that moment and it's another one where I'm like, what? But now like the song has taken on this new life, and we've been playing it a lot live at these shows, and the energy from the crowd that we get back for that one is something really unique and special, and I don't think it ever went off the way it does now throughout our entire career. So that song's like found a new life.
Also on the business side, I mean, you're doing such a great job, not only creatively, but you guys started your own label.
We partnered with some friends of ours who have a label called Photo Finish Records, and we started our imprint there. We're calling it affectionately Basement Noise Records. It's really exciting. You know, we've never had our own label before, really. So this was kind of an opportunity for us to do all of this on our own terms. You know, I think the whole point of re-recording this music was to reinvent, reimagine, update our sound. It's given us the autonomy to do it exactly how we want to do it, and I think it's just made it that much more special, knowing that the ownership falls on us, the autonomy falls on us, and the responsibility to like deliver for the fans falls on us.
Yeah, it's empowering in a lot of ways, probably. I love that.
Very refreshing.
And of course, you also had a show at Winery in New York City, which is very fitting because you have your own wine brand.
We do.
Where did that come from?
It's funny, like we're talking about the legacy in the 20 years, and I think it's like when you do something for long enough, you find all these different avenues to branch out into, and wine just happened to be one of them. It's so random. I think wine is this interesting thing that kind of connects people to places.
I love that.
You know, wherever you go in the world, there's a wine to be had with a meal that you're having with friends. And it always serves to me as like an anchor point to those moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, just in our travels, in our journey, in our touring, I've always sort of sought out wines that anchor me to those places and those memories, similar to the way a song might.
Yeah.
Our fans give us such a wide lane to operate in. I feel very lucky that like they've been down for that journey too, because a lot of people would hear it and be like, why, what?
What are you
wine?
doing?
Okay, cool. No, people have been all in on the why of what we're doing. Why do we make wine? Because why not?
Separately, I feel like it was probably just fun doing all the tastings.
Oh my God, yeah. It's the best. Going like we work with a winemaker out in Oregon. Going out there and like making the blends and like actually being hands-on with it was something I'd never done before, and we had to learn, but we had really good guidance, and I think we landed on some stuff that's really good.
And I want to circle back to kind of your musical friends that you've made along the way. You recently had a collab with Avril Lavigne, who, an icon,
The best.
obviously.
The absolute best.
You say it's really nothing personal, and everyone you love is just expendable.
Who else is another artist that you feel like has really been there for you along the way and that you hope to work with maybe or have worked with in the past?
You mentioned Avril. She's an icon and a legend, and it was crazy to get to go into the studio and work on that song with her. And you know, we mentioned earlier Mark Hoppus, we've done a song together, and then we ended up, him and I, starting a project together, which I just couldn't have imagined and was part of this journey that got us here now. Teddy Swims, a great friend,
cool.
like
I
one of the
him.
most iconic voices in music right now, and I think just doing the damn thing so well, and such a lovely human. We were lucky to get him on a song on our newest record called New Religion. Working with Demi on a new version of Monsters, to that extent also Black Bear.
Why do all the monsters come out at night?
Two people who I don't think I expected to work with in that capacity. Bear did such an amazing job of bringing that song like a new life. And then when Demi came on board, you know, Demi's someone I've known for years. We were friends a long time ago, but never worked on music together. And so to kind of have this—
Surprising, actually, I feel like,
right? And like I look at Demi as I think she has one of the best voices in music. Like
Totally.
she is incredible. And years later, circle back and get her on a song that was like one of our newer songs, and hear her do her thing on something that we had made was very special.
Realizing how cool your life has been thus far, I mean, what would you go back and tell younger Alex if you could?
You know, I think that's what this year's been about, really, is it's gratitude, and it's like gratitude in action. I think it has been a really important thing for us. When we hit this 20-year mark, it said, let's zoom out, let's take a beat, and let's like intentionally be so thankful for everything that got us to this point. So yeah, I think I'd probably tell my younger self that things are gonna work out. Like, stop and smell the roses. Because I think my younger self was always very ambitious and just driven and like eye on the next thing. And I think I would just give myself a little reassurance that it's gonna go.
Before we wrap up, at the risk of putting you on the spot and being so annoying, can you do the cough with me before we
Yes.
wrap up? I mean, I have to.
So no joke.
Okay.
When we did this for the re-record, it was probably like the most daunting part of getting any of these songs right, because it had to be, I wanted it to feel new. And the first one in the original, it was not intentional. It was just like something that our producer, Matt, at the
Added
time,
in.
just put in. Like, I was literally clearing my throat, and he was like, this is a funny way to start a song. You know, we had no idea back then that it would sort of become like a thing.
That's amazing.
So yeah, trying to get the new one was tricky, so.
Okay, let's do it. Ready?
On three?
Yes, on three. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
I had my dream come true.
Love
I
it.
love it.
Love
Well,
it.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Alex. Congratulations on 20 plus years of success
Thank
and
you.
20 more. I'm so happy that I got to chat
Thank you
with you
so
today.
much for having me.